Hello, my name is Iman Maghrouri, and today I'd like to show you the Sales Cloud. Well, what better place to start than on the home page where our 2 million plus users log in every day. We don't install anything on any of your computers. As long as you have access to the internet, you're going to have access to your business data. When you log in, the very first thing each and every one of your users are going to see are what they care about most. What's going on in the organization and their dashboards, their metrics, the things that they care about or the things they're being graded on. As we scroll down, we see your tasks and your events, your to-do items and your calendar items. These will sync with Outlook or your calendaring solution. But the big takeaway is when you log in the morning, you're going to see what you care about, what you need to get done, and where you need to be all on one screen. Now, if you're putting data in Salesforce, really doesn't matter what it is, we can capture it, we can report on it, and then make dashboards on it. So if we're capturing sales or support or survey results, you're going to be able to make your own reports. And then these dashboards just draw those reports. And the first thing you should know is you can have as many dashboards as you want. You can have team dashboards, private dashboards, company-wide dashboards. And these are things that you, as business users, can make and maintain. So I just click Edit on my dashboard. And what we're going to do now is point and click, drag and drop, Edit my dashboard. Let's say, for example, our survey results or our customer satisfaction. We want to call this CSAT instead. And also, I don't want a pie chart. I want a bar chart. So I just drag and drop that right onto that component, and we've now made our new dashboard component. We just save this change, and the very next time I come to this dashboard, it's a bar chart. Or if I take out my iPhone or my BlackBerry and I want to view our accounts, contacts, leads, activities, or dashboards on my mobile device, that change is going to be there. Now, I can see things like my pipeline, where my leads are coming from, how close I am to hitting my number, what customers we have that maybe are support issues or outstanding problems with them. The big takeaway is, if it's in Salesforce and you care about it, we're going to be able to make reports and then dashboards that draw those reports. Now, from the dashboard screen, let's call this the 30,000 foot view of the company. I could drill right down and go specifically to a customer record, or I can click on the report to see that report. So let's do that now. I click on my biggest open deals report. So here we are on a report. Let's call this the 500 foot view of what's going on. Right here, right in the middle of the screen, this is our Excel replacement. This is any of the information you care to see, any of that custom stuff you happen to put into Salesforce. So in this report, we see that Iman is working a $2,000 deal in a certain stage for a company in the technology space. Well, anything we want to customize here is, again, point and click to do, just like we did with the dashboards. If I want to add columns or remove columns, if I want to sort them or edit what the criteria of this report is, it's just point and click, drag and drop to do that. So I can add a field like type right to the screen, right to the report, just by dragging and dropping. Now let's rerun this report that we've customized. Now we can see that we've removed the industry field and added the type field. This was all point and click. Now, it's not just making the columns in the report, but the date ranges as well. So for example, I want to see all the opportunities that are closing or that were created or whose last activity was this year, last year, next month, last month. Show me all the opportunities whose close date is the next 90 days. We make this report once. We save this report once, and it always moves through time with us. So you don't have to do the work and then go through and work on Excel to show that you've done the work, right? We're going to save you some time. You make the report once, and your dashboards are always going to show you the most up-to-date information. Now you can come in here and slice and dice this thing any way you like. For example, I see that there are 3 outstanding opportunities with the same account. Well, instead of grouping this report by each opportunity, why don't we see this report by account? So I want to see all the deals that are out there by customer. I just summarize the information by account name. And now when we scroll down, we can see all of the deals tied to advanced interconnections and what they total up to. This is designed for you as business users to go in and make your own reports. And the dashboards will draw themselves accordingly depending on how you decide to customize these reports. Now right from here, I could go to our biggest deal directly, or I can click on the account and go right to the account. Now, this is the first time we're looking at a record in Salesforce. So why don't we all just take a second to get acclimated to how to read a record. And if we can read one record, we can kind of read all the records in Salesforce. We follow the same 3-tiered layout everywhere. right in the middle of the screen, this part, the part in between the buttons, this is the account. This is United Partners. They're a technology company with 1,000 employees and really any other information you care to add. This information could be numbers, it can be pictures, it could be a map, it could be, 3 stars, 4 stars, 2 stars, or whatever you care about there. Now, underneath that record, we have information that's related to the account, but not the account. We call these related lists. So here's a list of all the contacts, what they do, how to get a hold of them, all the deals we've ever worked on, who worked on it, how much was it for, any contracts we've signed with them, any entitlements or service level agreements we have with them. Now I could keep scrolling down, okay, or I can use the hovers right at the top of the screen. They're the exact same list in the exact same order, which is again customizable by you, point and click. We just decide what you're interested in. So if your organization has a support team and you want to get that on the same system as your sales team, well, we can do that as well. Salesforce has a very native Service Cloud functionality. And for more information on that really robust feature set, I recommend you watch the Service Cloud video. But here we can see the open activities, right? These are those same activities that we had on the home page, the same ones that sync with your calendar, but these only pertain to this account. When they're done, they automatically fall into the activity history bucket. The really just nice thing about the activity history bucket is it helps answer the what's going on question with your customers. So if you ever want to know what's going on, you go to the activity history, you click view all, and you're going to see every email, every note, every call that was important enough to capture in one place. Now, when we go back to the list, you can really add on anything else you'd like to see. Some really common examples are assets. So what did we already sell the customer? What do they have on site? What's the upsell or cross-sell opportunity here? I know if they have this product, maybe they could use a couple other of these products. Any projects or implementations. A lot of our customers not only sell something, but they also have services that go along with it. So if you want to manage that customer engagement in Salesforce, or at least manage that project, that's something we do quite a bit all the time. Also, we have customers that either run their accounting right out of Salesforce or integrate with their accounting solution. So if you want to see your orders or your invoices show up right in Salesforce, we can do that. No more back and forth with the accounting department. No more exporting Excel spreadsheets and importing them or getting someone else to duplicate their work in QuickBooks. That and really any attachments, any files, any documents that the customer may have sent you that you want to hold on to. The point is everything you care about pertaining to this customer is in one place. Doesn't matter what team you're on in the organization, doesn't matter where you are when you want to view this data. You go to one record and you're going to see that 360-degree view of your customer. Now, this is an example record that we've had in the system for quite some time, right? We've sold them some things, they've had some support issues, we've had some projects. There's a lot of data in here. Well, how does the data get in here? Where do we start? Well, let's start where all good sales start, and that's with the sales lead. Now, leads can come into the system really from a multitude of different ways. We can give you a form that you can put on your website. So if I go to your website and I put in my information, I hit submit, instead of you getting an email, what'll happen is the customer automatically gets an email and they automatically become a lead in Salesforce, and then they can automatically be assigned to the appropriate rep based on product or geography, and that rep can get a notification saying, hey Mon, you need to pay attention, there's a new lead in the system. They can come in that way, or you can create them manually just by clicking a button, creating a new lead. Or you can import that lead from a spreadsheet. So if you go to a trade show and you get a list of 100, 200, 50,000 people that you've met, we can just take that and import that right into Salesforce and again, assign it and send out reminders. Now, from the Leads tab, or really any tab you like, you can do what are called list views. Think of these as little mini reports, right? Show me all the leads in California. Show me all the leads that are executives. Show me all the leads that are whatever you care about. Here, for example, I'm going to see all of my leads, or the leads that are assigned to me. I'm responsible for them. I need to make sure I'm staying on top of them. Now, this table can have really any columns we care about, and we can sort them in any order we want. Again, a point-and-click exercise. And what we see a lot of people doing is actually sorting by some kind of lead score. Right? So I'm going to start at the top, or my hottest leads, and work my way down. And right from this list, I can edit the list. So I find out Rosa doesn't work for Universe Design. She works for Universal Design. And I can save that change. Also, I can open up my calendar right from this list. And after I speak with Rosa, I can actually schedule a meeting, drag and drop it into my calendar, and say something like follow-up meeting, hit save. Now that's tied to Rosa's record. That's going to show up on my calendar. My manager can have reports and dashboards and analytics tied around this, and it'll sync to my Outlook. So let's go and look at Rosa's actual record. Now again, we're following that same 3-tiered layout. We've got Rosa's record in the middle, we've got related lists underneath, and hovers up top. So there's a few things we do with sales leads, right? We call them and we send them email. So let's see how that looks. So I call Rosa Abla and I have a conversation. Well, I go to the activity history related list and I log that call, or I log that activity. And here I can say that it was our first call. And in the comment section, I'm going to say that introduction to Rosa, happy to speak again in more depth. And I can even schedule a follow-up here, so call her back later in the week. I can put a to-do date in here, and this to-do item could be for me, or it could be for somebody else. And I can even put a gentle reminder in here for myself to pop up or not. I hit save and that's it. We've now tracked the fact that I've had that conversation with Rosa, that first call. And under open activities, we're going to see that Bill West needs to call her back later in the week. So we can do that. And we can also send out emails. So again, I go to the activity history section and I'm going to send out an email. Now, you can send out emails from Outlook. Okay, and you can get them into Salesforce. You can send them out of your BlackBerry or from your iPhone and get them into Salesforce. The really nice thing about sending them out of Salesforce are our templates. So you can have sales templates, support templates, marketing templates, and in this case, I'm going to use our standard marketing template to invite her to a customer success day. The nice thing is it'll throw in the logo, throw in the letterhead, put her information right off her record in here, give it a personal touch so it looks like I actually sent it to her, and it's still editable. I can still come in here and say something like, nice speaking with you as the subject. And when I send this email, now not only are we showing in the activity history that we sent this email, but under HTML email status, you're going to see when I sent it, how many times it was opened, the first time it was opened, and the last time it was opened as well. So we've got Rosa in here. We know that she's a fairly qualified lead because we've been scoring and keeping track of this information. We're logging the calls, we're logging the activities, but you know what? We're also touching her with different marketing campaigns. Maybe we went to a trade show, maybe we're sending her email blasts. So we can tag her and the marketing campaign she's associated to. And just to do a quick aside here on marketing campaigns, the really nice thing about tracking them in Salesforce is that you tell us the cost. Okay, you tell us how much your marketing campaign costs. How much did you spend to go to the trade show? How much did you spend for those direct mail pamphlets that you're sending out? What we'll do is we'll tell you how many people are tied to that campaign, right? We know that you sent this email to 54 or 56 leads. You've got 54 responses. Out of those 56 leads, 9 of them have been qualified and converted into accounts and contacts. And so we've got 9 contacts in this particular campaign. And more importantly, we're going to help you calculate the ROI. We're going to say that this campaign has helped generate 5 opportunities for a grand total of about $57,000. And we've closed 4 out of those 5 opportunities for $50,000. And we've got our ROI right here, right on the campaign. Well, if you're ever wondering, how do we get these numbers? Where are they coming from? How are we calculating this? Well, just scroll down the page. See every lead and every contact tied to this campaign in one place. See all of the opportunities that have been generated and which ones are opened and which ones are closed and which ones are still outstanding in one place. Now, you may send an email blast, but chances are if you're an organization doing a lot of email marketing, you're probably going to send multiple email blasts. Well, how did this email blast compare to all the other email blasts you've done? We can do that in Salesforce. Well, what if you're doing email and you're doing Google AdWords and you're going to trade shows and you want to compare all of them against one another? We can help you do that as well. You can set up hierarchies of campaigns in Salesforce so you can see all of your email marketing results in one spot. Let's jump back into the lead. Now here I am, I've called Rosa Abla, I've sent her emails, we're changing things, we're keeping track of the record. One thing we can do in Salesforce is actually customize what this record looks like. What kind of data are we keeping track of? There are manufacturers using Salesforce, people in the medical device industry using Salesforce, all kinds of industries, and they don't all care about the same fields. We want to make sure that you're capturing what you want to capture about your customers. So here, for example, on Rosa Abilene, I could create a brand new field. So I'm going to open up the Setup tab in Salesforce, and I'm going to customize the leads, and I'm going to add a field to the leads page. So I click on Fields. Now, right in the middle of the screen, these are all the fields you get just for using Salesforce, right? Everyone wants a mobile number and a phone number and a website. Well, let's add a new custom field. Now, this could be really anything you want. It could be numbers, dollar amounts, check boxes, drop-down boxes, whatever you think is valuable for your organization. In this case, let's do a drop-down box, and I'm going to hit Next. In this case, we can do something like lead score, or let's say lead type, right? Lead type. And here I'm going to say something like gold, silver, and bronze. And we can even put a little help blurb in here. So how high of a priority is this lead? Right? Anything that'll help your folks in your organization get a much better understanding of what to do with that field. And then in Salesforce, we can even break up the security here to say something like, should the marketing users be able to even see this field? And if they should, are they allowed to edit it? Right? We're going to give you the ability to have field level control over the security of your fields and your data in Salesforce. And then you can have many different types of leads. And each type of lead, for example, could have its own fields that are important to it. So let's go back to that lead section. Let's go back to Rosa Abilene. And you're going to notice right now, right on the page, there's our lead type field. And if I double click on it, we're going to be able to say that this is a gold lead or a silver lead or a bronze lead. And you know what? This is now reportable. This will show up on our dashboards if we want to have a metric on it. Also, it could show up in our mobile devices. This is being backed up for disaster recovery. It's immediately available to use in integrations over the API. And when we come out with our 3 updates a year to the system, that is not going to break or go anywhere or cause you any headache at all. So, you know what? I don't like how I put it in the bottom left, though. So I'm going to drag and drop that field and put it at the top right. To me, that's important. That's where my users are going to look for that data. Also, some of these fields I don't care about. Maybe product interest isn't important, so we take it off the page. Maybe you don't care about seeing a map, so I take it off the page. Simple point and click, drag and drop to actually draw what your page looks like for your users. Now you can see that that lead type field has been moved up to the top right, and that map is no longer on the page. So we've done everything we can with Rosa Abilene. We've talked to her, we've given her the pitch, we've sent her the email, we've had her on some marketing campaigns. We're tracking all of this, reporting on all of this. Now we convert her. And when we convert her, really what that's doing is moving her from the Leads tab and breaking her up into an account, a contact, and an opportunity. The Leads tab is really there as kind of a holding pen for dirty data. Think of it as someone give you a business card and you don't necessarily want to put that information in your accounts and contacts tab. You may never hear from them again, right? So why dirty up your good, clean data when we can keep it segmented in the Leads tab? But now that we know she's around, or at least we've heard from her, we convert her, and now we've got an account, a contact, an opportunity, and all those activities follow with us, and we didn't have to do any extra work. So let's kind of fast forward now. Let's go to United Partners, and here's an account that has more data in it. This is where we started, right? Now you saw how we did some simple customizations by just doing point and click, drag and drop stuff through an editor. Well, in Salesforce, we have what's called an App Exchange. We've got over 500,000 installs so far and over 1,000 apps on the App Exchange. The really nice thing about it is it can add all kinds of extra functionality, whether it's project management, expense reports, HR, recruiting, survey results, whatever that may be. One really nice one for you traveling salesmen out there is a free app called Find Nearby. The nice thing is if I'm going to go visit United Partners, well, I might as well do more selling and less driving, right? So I click Map It, and what this is doing for me is showing me every single account, contact, and lead within a 25-mile area, or let's say 5 miles or 10-mile area. Here I can say I'm going to go visit United Partners, and then I'm going to drive all the way out here and visit Jeff, and then I'm going to come down here and see Rosa. So I can actually make my driving route right here in Salesforce. I can drag and drop, change those driving directions in real time. And if you actually want to know where Rosa Abilene is, you can scroll down, see her exact address, and a really nice thing about it is you can even get Street View right on this address as well. And if you want to know where I'm doing this demo from right now, that's me, right in that window. So the nice thing is you can get the directions, push them out into Google Maps, push it into your GPS, or print it out with you. This is just one example of one of our many apps on the App Exchange that you just point and click install right into Salesforce. So we've got the account. We've customized it, so we only care about seeing the right data. We're working with this customer. Let's go to that original opportunity that struck our interest. Here's the deal, 61K that we're working on. Now, when we go to the opportunity, we want to look at the chatter feed. The really nice thing here is it's keeping us up to speed on what's going on, right? Dashboards and reports are great for those high-level, big swings in what's happening, right? I want to see our pipeline for the next 90 days. I want to know our activities by rep for the last 30 days. But it doesn't give you a good sense of what's happening on this one record. That's where chatter comes into play. You go to the chatter record, and you're going to see that we're competing with Acme here, and it looks like Casey, who's working on this opportunity with us, saw that, and she actually posted the deck right into chatter that we should use as a competitive document. Also, turns out that Casey found out someone by the name of Jason, a consultant, is actually the one running this evaluation. So now we know who we need to interact with and who we need to try and persuade. Anyone that's following this record is going to get all of these posts and feed in chatter right on their feed. So they'll see it on their mobile device, they'll see it on their home page, but all they need to do is follow this record. Now, if we look at the opportunity, again, we see all of the information that we care to capture. We have all the products that we're selling them, how much we're selling them for, how many we're selling, all the quotes that we've sent out pertaining to this opportunity, and then we have all the contact roles. So here I can see that Lauren Boyle from United Partners, she's one of the decision makers. James Davies, one of the decision makers as well. But Jason Brenneman from Green Dot Media, he's actually the primary decision maker, and he's the evaluator doing this from Green Dot Media. Looks like they got a consultant to run the evaluation. Well, I want to reach out to Jason. I want to know what's going on with Jason. I want to better understand what he's using as criteria to evaluate us. So let me click on Jason's record. Turns out we don't know anything about Jason. They're not telling us anything. I've got his email. Maybe I got that from a big email he was attached to, CC to there. But no phone number, no title. How am I going to call this guy? Well, luckily for us, Salesforce is integrated with Jigsaw. So a really nice thing here is Jigsaw is part of the Data Cloud. What they do is they're an online repository of millions of pieces of contact information to different corporate entities out there. So here I can see that Jason Brenneman from Green Dot Media is actually the Vice President of Internet Information Technology. We've got his address, we've got his phone number. Yeah, I'm just going to update the record with that. I click one more button and that information is now directly in Salesforce. I can call Jason, I can log my activities, I can see what's going on. Let's go back into the opportunity. Let's assume I called Jason and we found out some really good news. We had a better idea of what's going on. Turns out though, they're going to need some different sets of products here. So I just click Add Product, and it looks like they're interested in getting some support and also some more of this particular product here. I hit Select, and then right in line, I can say how many of these we want to do. I can change the prices right here, give them a discount in line, and I can hit Save. So now we've updated the opportunity. The dollar amounts automatically changed, and if we notice in Chatter, these changes have automatically posted to Chatter. So we care about the dollar amount, and when that dollar amount changes, it's automatically going to show up on everyone's feed. And here I can just comment that I got a hold of Jason. Turns out they'll need more widgets. Add that to the feed, and now everyone knows what's going on. No need to email blast everybody. No need to forget if I CC'd someone. Right there, nice and easy. Now, we've updated the opportunity. They're going to want a new quote. So let's go and generate a brand new quote off of this opportunity. I simply click New Quote. Now the nice thing about this, I just put in some information here. So let's say Jason's quote. And we can put other information in like shipping, tax, expiration date of the quote, really whatever information we want, again, customizable. Here's the quote. And right from Salesforce, we can use our own templates here to create a brand new quote and send this out. So here I click Create Quote, takes our letterhead, takes the information right off the records, there's the quote, and right from Salesforce, again, I just save this quote and I email it out. It's automatically ready to send it out to Jason. We can pick another template, it's automatically attached to the quote, and that's it. We could send the quote out to Jason right from Salesforce within a couple clicks. I can even sync this quote with the opportunity. The really nice thing about that is if the opportunity changes or if Jason changes his mind, oh no, instead of 3, now I need 4. Or instead of 5, I need 8. I can just change it in one place on the opportunity and that'll automatically update the quote and vice versa. So what have we done? We have gone into the customer record. We've gone into a lead. We've talked about logging activities, logging calls, updating our opportunities, sending out quotes. All of that is happened within Salesforce. And all of this, all of the records, all the updates, all the changes we've made are reportable. We can have dashboards on this, and you can see them available through your mobile device. Hopefully, this has given you a good light touch of how Salesforce could be set up and could help your organization. For more information, or if you have any questions at all, please contact your account executive at salesforce.com. They really want to hear from you.